Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss the properties of the ionic solvents or ionic liquids. In the first part of the lecture, we have learnt about the introduction of the ionic solvents, what are ionic solvents and how they are formed and which type of organic solvents we can use for a specific application. So now let's just see the physical properties of the ionic solvents. Low temperature varieties. Low temperature ionic liquids below 130 Kelvin have been proposed as a fluid base for an extremely large diameter spinning liquid mirror telescope to be based on the moon. Low temperature is advantageous in imaging low-wave infrared light, which is the form of light extremely redshifted, and it arrives from the most distinct part of the visible universe. Such a liquid base would be covered by a thin metallic film that forms the reflective surface. Low volatility is important in lunar vacuum conditions to prevent evaporation. Polyionic liquids. Polymerized ionic liquids, polyionic liquids, or polymeric ionic liquids, all abbreviated as PIL, is the polymeric form of ionic liquids. They have half of the ionicity of the ionic liquids, since once ion is fixed as the polymer moiety to form a polymeric chain. PILs have a similar range of applications comparable with those of ionic liquids, but the polymer architecture provides a better chance for controlling the ionic conductivity. They have extended the application of ionic liquids for designing smooth materials and solid electrolytes. Magnetic ionic liquids. Magnetic ionic liquids can be synthesized by incorporating magnetic elements into the ionic liquid molecules. One example is 1-butyl 1,3-methyl imidazolium tetrachlorophenase. This is a very important chemical compound with reference to magnetic ionic fluids. Now let's see the commercial applications. Many commercial applications have been considered. Some are briefly and others remain under development. One is the dispersing agent. Ionic liquids can act as a dispersing agent in paints to enhance finish, appearance, and drying properties. Ionic liquids are used for dispersing nanomaterials. Organic synthesis. A liquid tetraalkyl phosphonium iodide is a solvent for tributyltin iodide, which functions as a catalyst to rearrange the monoepoxide of butadiene. This process was commercialized as a route to 2,5-dihydrofurane. Cellulose processing. The distillation of cellulose by ionic liquid has attracted interest. A patent application from 1930 showed that 1-alkyl pyridinium chloride dissolved cellulose. Following in the footsteps of the lyocell process, which uses hydrated N-methyl morpholine N-oxide as a non-aqueous solvent for the distillation of the pulp and paper. The dissolution of cellulose-based material like tissue paper waste generated in chemical industry and at research laboratory in room temperature ionic liquid 1-butyl 3-methyl imidazolene chloride and the recovery of valuable products by the electrodeposition from this cellulose matrix was studied. The valorization of cellulose, that is its conversion into more valuable chemicals, has been achieved by the use of the ionic liquids. Representative products are glucose ester, sorbitol, and alkyl glucosides. Ionic liquid 1-butyl 3-methyl chloride dissolves freeze-dried banana pulp and with the additional 15% dimethyl sulfoxide leads itself to carbon-13 NMR analysis. In this way, the entire complex of starch, sucrose, glucose, and fructose can be monitored as a function of banana ripening. The next is about nuclear fuel reprocessing, which is very important. The ionic liquid 1-butyl 3-methyl chloride has been investigated for the recovery of uranium and other materials from the spent of nuclear fuel and other sources. Protonated betaine-based trifluoromethane sulfonyl imide have been investigated as a solvent for uranium oxides. Ionic liquids N-butyl N-methyl pyrrolidinium based trifluoromethane sulfonyl imide and N-methyl N-propylpiperidinium based trifluoromethyl sulfonyl imide have been investigated by the electrodeposition of europium and uranium metals respectively. Here is solar thermal energy. Ionic liquids are potential heat transfer and storage media in solar thermal energy systems. Concentrating solar thermal facilities such as parabolic throws and solar power towers focus the sun energy onto a receiver which can generate temperature of around 600 centigrade or in other words 1112 Fahrenheit degree. This heat can thus generate electricity in a steam or other cycles. For buffering during cloudy periods or to enable generations overnight, energy can be stored by heating an intermediate fluid. Although nitrate salts have been the medium of choice since the early 1980s, they freeze at 220 degrees Celsius temperature and thus require heating to prevent solidification. Ionic liquids such as BF4 have more favorable liquid phase temperature range and cloud therefore be excellent liquid thermal storage media and heat transfer fluids. Water recycling, which is almost a big issue in all the countries of the world. Ionic liquids can aid the recycling of synthetic goods, plastic and metals. They offer especially the required to separate similar compounds from each other, such as separating polymers in plastic waste streams. This has been achieved using low temperature extraction processes than current approaches and could help avoid incinerating plastic or dumping them in the landfill. Ionic solvents are extensively used in the batteries. They can replace water as the electrolyte in the metal air batteries. Ionic liquids are attractive because of their lower vapor pressure, increasing battery life by drying more slowly. Furthermore, ionic liquids have an electrochemical window of up to 6 volts, sporting more energy dense metals. Energy densities from 900 to 1600 watt hours per kilogram appear possible with the help of ionic liquids. Here is carbon capture. The use of ionic liquids in carbon capture is a potential application of ionic liquids as absorbents for use in carbon capture and sequestration. Ionic liquids, which are salts that exist as liquid near room temperature, are polar, non-volatile materials that have been considered for many applications. The urgency of climate change has spurred research into their use in energy-related applications such as carbon capture and storage. Amines are the most prevalent absorbent in post-combustion carbon capturing technology today. In particular, monoethanolamine has been used in industrial scales in post-combustion carbon capture, as well as in other carbon dioxide separation, such as the sweetening of natural gas. However, amines are corrosive, degrade over time, and require large industrial facilities. Ionic liquids, on the other hand, have low vapor pressure. This property results from their strong Coulombic attractive forces. Vapor pressure remains low through the substance's thermal decomposition point, typically greater than 300 degrees Celsius temperature. In principle, this low vapor pressure simplifies their use and makes them green. Alternatively, additionally, it reduces the risk of contaminations of the carbon dioxide gas stream and the leakage of into the atmosphere. The solubility of carbon dioxide in ionic liquids is governed primarily by the anion, less so by the cation. The hexafluorophosphate (BF6) and tetrafluoroborate (BF4) anion have been shown to be especially amenable to carbon dioxide capture. Ionic liquids have been considered as a solvent in a variety of liquid-liquid extraction processes, but never commercialized. Besides that, ionic liquids have replaced the conventional volatile solvents in industry such as absorption of gases or extractive distillation. Additionally, ionic liquids are used as co-solutes for the generation of aqueous biphasic system or purification of biomolecules. Tribiology. Some ionic liquids have been shown to reduce friction and where the basic tribiology testing and their polar nature makes them candidate lubricant for tribosonic applications, while the comparatively high cost of ionic liquids currently prevent their use as neat lubricant. adding ionic liquids in concentration as low as 0.5 weight percentage many significantly alter the lubricating performance of conventional base oil. Thus, the current focus of research is on using ionic liquid as additive to lubricating oils, often with motivation to replace widely used ecologically harmful lubricant additives. However, the claimed ecological advantages of ionic liquids have been questioned repeatedly and is yet to be demonstrated from a life cycle perspective. Extraction of antibiotics. Isolation of antibiotics from fermentation broths followed by their separation and purification usually constitutes a large technology challenge. In order to test the activity, determine molecular structures and prepare the final form of drug, chemically pure compounds are required. Penicillin is one of the most popular and most common used antibiotic, thus streamlining and improving the efficiency of the production process as well as increasing its purity is essential. Conducted in 2005 experiments by Lewis how the ABS composed of BMIM, BFO4 and sodium biphosphate can be used for extraction of penicillin G from fermentation broth with more than 90% efficiency. Standard extraction with ethyl acetate is carried out in an environment of a pH 2, while with the ionic liquids at pH ranging 4 to 5. As penicillin G is not stable in an environment with strong acidic pH, the method presented by Lewis allowed maintaining the stability of the antibiotic particles and the same increases the efficiency of the extraction process. Due to the widespread application of antibiotics both in human and veterinary therapy, there is a risk of passing them into the waste water and next direct into the environment. Therefore, the tests of drug levels are carried out in the environment sample. Han and co-worker used aqueous two-phase system for the extraction of antibiotics from water environmental sample, that is the river, lake, medical sewage, pond water and groundwater. They determined levels of macrolides, antibiotics such as azithromycin and midazolamine and zenthromycin, sulfadiamidine, acetyl sapramycin. Optimizing the extraction system for azithromycin, midazolamine and zenthromycin by nodal curves were done using 1-butyl 1,3-methylamidazolium tetrafluoroborate and salts as sodium carbonate, disodium hydrogen phosphate, sodium bisulfate, sodium dihydrogen phosphate, NaCl and sodium hydroxide. Next, partition coefficient of each antibiotic were determined as well as the effect of added amount of salt in the extraction system having the largest distribution coefficient. The highest degree of extraction of azithromycin was achieved with a system consisting of 10% BMIM, BF4 and 24.5% sodium carbonate and of mecadicene, 10% BMIM, BF4 and 28.3% sodium dihydrogen phosphate. Under these conditions, recovery of azithromycin and midekamycin from environmental sample was from 91.8% to 96.2% and from 89.6% to 92.2% respectively. ABS system was also used to analyze food samples such as milk, honey, drinking water. With a system consisting of BMIM, BF4 and sodium citrate single-step extraction of chloramphenicol was determined. In recovery test of skipped sample with 10 to 100 nanogram per ml of chloramphenicol, extraction efficiency ranged 90 to 102%. The method has also high selectivity. Sugars and other substances present in food samples do not interfere in the assay. Extraction of metal ions. Ionic liquids have been used for extraction of metals after addition of appropriate complexation reagent. Zaho distinguished three different procedures suitable for the extraction of metal cation from aqueous samples. First method is based on dial methods, and in this methodology applying a crown ether as complex ingredient. Second utilizes different ionic ligands for this purpose, and the last one proposes task-specific ionic liquids, which are abbreviated as TSIL, with the covalent tethering of a cationic interchangeable functional group. Homogeneous liquid-liquid extraction, or HLLE. It is a common knowledge that liquid-liquid extraction is the basic technique used for the separation and purification. The distribution of a solute between two immiscible phases requires equilibration of this system as created by stirring or shaking. Application of immiscible with water hydrophobic ionic liquids is such a solvent extraction system would have required even stronger agitation considering their high viscosity in the aim to increase contact between two phases and finally increase the mass transfer between them. However, ionic liquids showing thermomorphic behavior, which are miscible with water above or below a certain temperature, do not require intensive mixing. Imidazolium ionic liquids as a solvent in liquid-liquid extraction system have been most broadly described in literature so far. The most promising example of ionic liquids used for this purpose are 1-alkyl 3-methyl-imidazolium hexafluorophosphate, tetrafluoroborate, and base trifluoromethyl sulfonyl imine. Extraction of metal ion into the ionic liquid phase requires addition of a special agent with the aim to enhance affinity of stronger hydrated ions to hydrophobic ionic liquid phase. By heating or cooling a homogeneous mixture can be obtained. Some ionic liquid solutions form one homogeneous phase above the upper critical solution temperature, whereas others below a lower critical solution temperature. Such homogeneous liquid-liquid extractions, known also as phase transition extraction, temperature-induced phase separation can be obtained in systems containing 1-hexyl 3-methylamidazolium tetrafluoroburate for isolation of silver, 4,4-bis dimethylamino thiobenzophenol, betonium bis trifluoromethyl sulfonyl imide for isolation of rare earth metal. Another described HLLE system was applied for the isolation of a larger selection of metal covering silver, copper, zinc, iron, cobalt, nickel, indium, gallium is betonium bis trifluoromethylsulfonyl imide and betaine as the extracting agent appeared again to be suitable for efficient extraction. Homogeneous phase was obtained after increasing the temperature above UCST equals 55 degrees Celsius temperature. Phase separation was achieved after cooling. Extraction of hormones, alkaloids and vitamins. He and co-worker determined testosterone and epitestosterone in human urine. The extraction was carried out with 80 to 90% efficiency. Analysis of urine samples was carried out in 3 stages which consisted of enzymatic hydrolysis, protein removal with trichloroacetic acid, extraction with the use of 1-methyl 3-butylamidazolium chloride and potassium hydrogen phosphate. Ionic liquids upper phase was analyzed by high performance liquid chromatography for both analytes. The limit of detection reached 1 nanogram per ml. Aqueous phase systems based on ionic liquids were applied for isolation of alkaloids such as caffeine and nicotine from human urine. This study showed that both compounds can be isolated in almost 100% by the use 1,3-dialkylamidazolium chloride. For salting out the most osmotropic salts was used potassium phosphate. The results showed that the extraction of alkaloids significantly improved the sample in human urine in comparison to simpler aqueous phase. Authors concluded that the presence of a biological matrix containing additional neutral salts, sodium chloride and urea, with cheotropic properties favored the alkaloid partition for the ionic liquid phase. Conclusion: although ionic liquids have been already proved to present advantageous industrial applications, they still remain attractive for analytical chemists. Only laboratory scale can clarify rational rules for the best selection of ionic liquids for particular analytical tasks and practically important recycling processes. Further, the practical point of view, we focused on utilizing of ionic liquids as solvents in extraction of different organic compounds and inorganic ions from biological and environmental samples. Liquid-liquid and aqueous two-phase system based on ionic liquids appear to be very useful for that purpose. Without any doubt, the application of ionic liquids in these analytical approaches will enable researchers to achieve new measurable benefits in the future. Extraction of protein. S. Dry et al. Using the ammonium ionic liquid for the extraction of proteins as albumin, lysozyme, myoglobin, and trypsin. As the salting out agent, phosphate buffer over a wide pH range was used. In the neutral solution, trypsin, albumin, and lysozyme were extracted in the range of 83 to 100%, while the myoglobin at the level of 60%. With the increase in pH, overall negative charge of protein increased as a result of surface functional group ionization. Albumin showed 100% extraction in the whole pH range, while other proteins were strongly extracted only at higher pH values. In case of lysozyme and trypsin, total positive charge with reduced and charge of myoglobin turned into negative. Thus, selection of a pH allows the selective extraction of albumin from a mixture of proteins. This also revealed that electrostatic forces are chiefly responsible for the mechanism of protein interactions with ionic liquids. The more negative charge on the protein surface, the stronger the interactions with the ionic liquid cation. Another factor considering the effect of change in the extraction degree was the temperature in range of 4 to 70 degrees Celsius. The temperature increases during the formation of two-phase system result in the extraction decrease in smaller molecular weight proteins. Experiments published by Pi co-workers showed that apart from electrostatic interactions, the hydrophobic forces are equally responsible for protein extraction mechanisms. Proteins such as albumin, trypsin, cytochrome C, and gamma globulin was extracted when 1,3-dialkylamidosodium bromide. For sorting out a phosphate buffer was used. In this case, the extraction of protein was with 70 to 100% efficiency and reached the maximum after application of the ionic liquid with the longest alkyl substituent in the cation. Instead of that, all benefits we should take care or safety by inducing of ionic liquids. Ionic liquids' low volatility effectively eliminates a major pathway for environmental release and contamination. Ionic liquids' aquatic toxicity is as severe as or more so than many current solvents. Mortality is not necessarily the most important metric for measuring impact on the aquatic environment, as sublethal concentrations change organisms' life history in meaningful ways. Balancing volatile organic compounds reduction against waterway spills requires after research ionic liquid substituent diversity simplifies the process of identifying compounds that meet safety requirements. Ultrasound can degrade solutions of imidazolium-based ionic liquids with hydrogen peroxide and acetic acid to relatively incautious compounds. Despite low vapor pressure, many ionic liquids are combustible and therefore require careful handling. Brief exposure, 5 to 7 seconds, to a flame torch can ignite some ionic liquids. Complete combustion is possible for some ionic liquids as well.